and they just keep going further back on the hill.
Is the audio better now, Facebook friends? I'm so sorry.
Testing, testing.
We had a little bit of a rocky
1,
start,
2,
as you can
3.
see.
It's been a little, 10 minutes ago, the sheep were all about the snuggles with us, and then as soon as we hit 1 o'clock, they're just running away from us, as is usual. But tell us in the chat where you're joining us from, please, friends. We love to hear who wins the furthest award.
Keep walking, Andrea.
And I will. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, no, you're
Raven's
fine.
like on a hill. She's gonna
I have
break
to walk
an
behind
ankle. We're gonna try to find Lauren and those sheep here. But thanks for joining us for this week's session on Virtual Sanctuary. We're in the middle of Petunia's Pledge, which, if you're not familiar, World Vegetarian Day was October 1st, and World Vegan Day is coming up on November 1st. So we here are trying to help people who are vegetarian or veg-curious to try to make those last leaps, specifically with dairy and eggs. But also, we're going to talk today about some of the other things that people maybe don't realize also does harm to our animal friends, like our sheep here. So a lot of people become vegetarian or vegan and don't realize that actually the wool industry is very harmful to our sheep friends, and the clothing industry exploits them, and so that's what we'll be talking about a little bit today.
I found sheep.
She found sheep!
Yay!
Lauren found the sheep. Lauren,
They all decided, like, let's go really far away
they sure
and
did.
eat a bunch of grass.
Lauren,
And you might know, if you pan over, there is one who is different from the rest.
which one of these things is not like the other? If you see him over there, that is Cupid.
And he abandoned Sam. Poor Sam is down the hill over there crying.
Wait, how do I get in there?
Oh, buddy.
And we are going to introduce you all to Cupid and Sam one of these days. Or possibly today, but Sam, poor Sam, he can't quite figure out that the gate is open quite yet.
Yeah, but the gate that's open is way over there. And now he's over here.
He's a little confused.
So,
So who are you there with today there, Lauren? Nina. Fluffy body, tiny head. That's how Lauren introduced me on the first day.
Just a small head.
Big fluffy body,
Why
tiny
did your head
head.
never grow right?
But very big ears.
Big ears.
Big ears.
Big
Little
ears.
face.
So remind us, Lauren, where did Nina come from?
Yes, so Nina is also kind of the oddball of the sheep herd, because the rest of them came from one of two places, which unfortunately were very similar, because they were both really horrific cruelty and neglect cases. Nina did not come from one of those. Instead, she is one of our former New York City residents. So Nina was at a live market in New York City around Easter time. And of course she is a sheep, and when she was a baby, what do we call a baby sheep?
She was a lamb.
Lamb.
Little
And
baby
lamb,
Nina.
like, is some, like, lambs are something that a lot of people eat for Easter. So she was at this market, awaiting her fate, but some friends of the sanctuary actually went to the market and were talking to see if they could not buy, but just, like, have one of the sheep there. And they went back and forth a little bit with the person who ran the market, and eventually they were handed over a little sheep. And it was definitely one of those things where two people have very different ideas of what's going on, because the market owner was like, okay, yeah, you can have this one. Let me get you a rope and we can tie her legs up real quick. Oof. And of course, Nina's friends were like, oh, no, that's fine. And the guy was like, no, of course you want to do that. Why wouldn't you? And they were like, no. So it's just one of those things of like talking, like going past each other there.
Very different goals.
Very different goals, yes. And though Nina, let's see, that was, when was that, sweetheart? Was that 3 years ago? Are you going to be 4? Are you going to be 4 in like a couple months? Oh my goodness. I think so.
Oh, it's a good scritch.
Oh, look at the little lips.
Oh, that's a good scritch. Right in the middle of all that fluffy, nice wool.
Dig down in there.
Janine says, wasn't it Nina that when she first arrived, she was in quarantine at the bottom of the hill and she wanted out and let everyone know she wanted out?
Oh, yes. So my poor baby here is very loud. Hi. Am I in the way? I think I'm in the way. Hold on. Let me scooch. Okay, there you go. Off you go, ma'am. Yes, so poor little Nina had something that's called ORT, which is it's an infection, and it's really common at like farms and markets and things like that, where you have a lot of animals who are all in like, you know, a small space together, and it's super contagious, like any mammal. So if this virus gets in there, it can just take off and spread, and it gives them like all kinds of sores and stuff like that. So it's not a good time. And since it is super contagious, Nina did have to be in really strict quarantine for, I think it was like 3 months or something like that when she first got here. Which, you know, again, she was a little lamb. I mean, like little. She was, I don't know, like this tall or something. She was like the tiniest little thing. You could just like swoop her and pick her up and carry her around. Just the tiniest little thing. And of course she wanted to be with other sheep. She wanted to be with humans. She wanted to be able to cuddle. She wanted all these things, and we just couldn't do that because this virus would then just get passed to everybody. So the first day when she came out, she decided her best friend was going to be Shirley. And if you're familiar with the sanctuary, Shirley is that big fluff ball of a sheep who is a bit of a loner. Shirley doesn't hang out with the other sheep really, but Nina was just kind of like, I like this one, and then would follow Shirley around, and Shirley was kind of just like, what? Why are you here? And eventually they bonded a bit, but then as Nina got older, she decided she wanted to join the big sheep herd. And here she is. Huh? There's definitely not cookies in my pocket.
Can be.
Who told her there's cookies in my pocket? Who did that?
Her nose did that.
Maybe you can have a little cookie.
So, this weekend, friends, is actually the Sheep and Wool Festival in Rhinebeck, New York, which is only about 18 minutes from us here at the sanctuary. And thousands of people will be visiting to celebrate animals and farming, but with the best of intentions, right? However, it actually normalizes the exploitation of these lovely animals. Sadly, people will be visiting with little lambs, like Nina was 3 or 4 years ago, and think they're very sweet and have lots of lamb time, and then unfortunately at that same festival they will be killed for their flesh, and so, you know, that's obviously not what we think of when we think of these little babies. Or sometimes they'll be sold as products, just like other farm equipment, rather than individual beings. So we don't, we would recommend, if you love sheep as much as we do, that instead to come visit them here at Catskill or at any other farmed animal sanctuary across the country that you can find, to get your sheep snuggles, where they will be able to live out their full lives. Because
and butt scratches.
and get lots of butt scratches.
You like the butt scratches?
because there's a lot of things we know about wool now that we've gone vegan. And, you know, I used to think too that, they have wool. Why can't we use that wool if they have too much of it? Well, they've been bred over time to have way too much. And then actually, Lauren, remind me, how young are they then once they're considered to be past peak wool production? Nina, close those cute little ears.
I know, those
Don't
big
listen.
ears, you're gonna have to hear things. You cover the ears up. I actually cannot remember off the top of my head.
It's not old.
But, I mean, sheep, like here at the sanctuary, we've had sheep live to like 19 or 20 years old.
Wow.
And
I didn't realize
they do get a little scruffy as they get older. So
But they only use it, right, for like the first part of their lives. So, and then after they reach, a certain age, I think it's like 4 or 5.
it's something like
Don't
that.
quote
yeah.
us on that one. We'll check, double check. But then, they're also all eventually sent to slaughter for meat. So even though you would think that, wool is not harming them and not killing them ultimately, it's actually just not true. And the sheep shearing process for them, boop, boop. I don't know if you can see Nina's cute little butt here.
Sure can.
Her fuzzy little butt.
Look at your butt.
But in order for farms, even the local ones, even quote unquote humane local farmers will often dock tails. And if you can see, some of our sheep here have really long tails because
Zeke just turned around.
We-
Like, as you were saying that, so convenient.
Thank you,
Zeke. He's this other one who's right here. Can we see him, or is he behind the tree?
with their natural tails, but they will dock tails even on smaller farming operations, just for convenience. It's as painful as it sounds like it would be. It is not a good experience for them. And actually, sheep shearing is very, very traumatic for sheep. They're very, very shy. They don't even really like us here with the padcaster, even though they know us. They're pretty shy, aren't they, Lauren? And it's
Some of them can be.
some of them.
I was gonna maybe see if I could entice another friend to join us. What do you
Yeah,
think?
maybe. Although Nina's butt is pretty cute.
You
But,
are such a cute
He's
butt.
right up there,
Oh, you're such a cute
but
butt.
hiding behind the trees here. I mean, Zeke for sure.
Yeah, Lena's right up there
Mike is
too.
sleeping in the grass over
Oh,
there. Look at
look
sweet
at him.
man. And
Mike is
Cupid's
hiding.
up there like, I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep. So yeah, we could maybe try to move behind the tree here a little ways.
I mean, well, let me try to entice Zeke because he is right here. Let me see.
Okay.
'Cause
Lauren's
I
gonna
might
work her
almost
magic.
miss.
I'll just chat with Nina's rear end here for a minute. Yeah, so the sheep shearing process is very, it's typically done by volume. So, here we love them so much and we would never want to hurt them, but sadly that sheep often get held down to be sheared. It's very painful.
We can share.
And they try to just do it as quickly as possible.
Come on, we can share cookies. Come here, handsome.
Come here, Ziggy! Look at that tongue!
There he is.
Oh, look at that
now we have a
beautiful
Zeke.
face!
Hi, bud. Now we have Nina and Zeke. Hi, handsome.
Handsome man. I love his hair.
I know, he's
Look
got
at
the best color. Oh, wait, Zeke. I got
Hey,
a
Ziggy!
cookie. Okay, bye, Zeke. Come back. That's Zeke. Nina gets more cookies. Very sweet. Good girl.
And also, we're very careful. We do actually, in case you're wondering, 1 to 2 times per year do have to shear them a little because they've been bred over time to have way too much wool and they will overheat in the summer. But when we do it, it involves a lot of snuggles, a lot of ginger snaps, a lot of breaks, sometimes just using scissors by hand. We want to do it for them in a way that is the least stressful, of course, but that's just not true in a farming situation.
Yeah, the scissors are for if any little spots get missed. Afterwards, we can just kind of
Little
trim you up a
I
little
could use
bit.
a trim.
There's a mosquito.
Maybe I'll have Lauren trim my hair after this.
That's what we were all saying last year when the shearer was here. That, that last year was like May of last year, which was still pretty earlier on in that whole pandemic thing. So we were all just like, hey, while you're here, can you can you do our hair too and just do that?
I love that idea.
I don't think anyone actually took the guy up on that. But we do have a guy who we've been working with for a long time, and he is very gentle with the sheep and everything. So, we totally trust him, and we greatly appreciate his expertise and his care.
Do any of our audience members have any idea what we do with the wool once we give them their little haircuts for the hot season? Why don't you let us know in the chat what you think we do with the wool? Because now Lauren here is an avid knitter. She's a crafty lady. And she makes things like the cute hat on her head and all sorts of things. Keychains and purses and...
I made an apple.
Did you make socks?
I have not made
Show us your
socks
apple.
yet.
It's so cute.
Oh, I just have the picture.
I know,
You
but
have
it's
my
adorable.
phone anyway, but
I do
it's
have
okay.
your phone.
No, we don't have to worry about it. I made a little apple for
So cute.
Linda, if you're watching. Not Chef Linda, though. No offense to Chef Linda, but Linda is a lovely person who lives nearby, who's got a big old apple tree in her backyard and has been giving us the apples from it. So I made her a little knit apple. So hi, Linda, if you're watching. Thanks.
Yep, some people are saying you put it out for the birds. Some people say you put it in the woods, put it out for the birds, fowl.
I believe all of those are true. You got it. A+ for all of you. So, yeah. So we don't use the wool for things like Lauren's knitting project. So Lauren, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what we can use instead for projects and clothing?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the options out there?
Yeah, and it's interesting that, like we were saying, the Sheep and Wool Festival over in Rhinebeck, that as someone in the knitting community and in like the fiber arts community, it's a big deal. Like that festival is a huge deal. And I thought it was actually interesting that this year they have a number of workshops that are actually all about creating fibers and fiber arts with plants, actually. So it's interesting to me that they are being like, oh, this is like a thing. We need to also include like flax in it, which is, flax is used to make linen, which is super cool. So you've got linen. That is one that I really like to work with. Cotton is good for some things too. This is acrylic, which is not what I like to go with, because acrylic is basically plastic, so it's better to go with the, like actual plant-based fibers, like the cotton, like the bamboo, like hemp or flax and linen. But I also go to thrift stores and buy a bunch of yarn there, so I'll buy acrylic from there. Yeah. Oh, am I sitting on something you're trying to eat? I'm sorry, Vicky. I'm sorry. I'm in your way.
That's my lunch.
So yeah. So those are definitely things that you're able to do. And even before we came out here, what was it that I was researching that I got a little focused on?
Coffee yarn or something?
Yeah, so that it's not made entirely from coffee.
If it
but
were, I would eat it.
Yeah, I don't know. But you just be over there snacking on your shirt. I don't know. I think these guys, you would go for that too, huh? Or the goats. The goats already nibble on clothes a lot. But yeah, it's coffee grounds that are ground down and then mixed in with, like, you could mix it in with other yarn bases, and then it's like an anti-odor thing. So
Interesting.
it's neat. And then that's, coffee, so it's also made out of plants. And if I know one thing about plants, it's that they don't have to, like, breed in the same kind of way that animals do. Plants are not raised, well, some plants are grown for milk, but not in the kind of way where they have to have babies to make that happen, and then those babies are then going to end up, being sold and all that.
Much more sustainable and ethical.
Yeah. Because basically, it's one of those things, it's like the same thing when we think about milk, when we think about eggs, we think about, like, down, right? That's feathers from birds, mostly from like ducks and geese, is don't just think about the moment of like, oh, well, if the sheep won't shed their hair, then that means they have to get shorn, so like, okay. Don't just think about that moment. Think about, well, what else is going on for the entire life of that animal. Think beyond just that one moment.
And cashmere too. We were talking about cashmere because it actually comes from goats, right? So
Yeah, there's a variety of animals who are used in the fiber industry. Like most commonly, sheep, also some goats, llamas, alpacas, rabbits, yak, camel.
wow.
More that I'm not thinking of.
But we have Thelma goat here with us. Isn't she a cashmere goat?
She is, or at least part cashmere. I'm not sure if she's 100%. She's somewhere way over
But
there.
same goes for that. You know, not an amazing situation for these babies. And Nina's cute butt is the only guest we have on screen right now. Lena, come here, Lena.
Can we see your face?
I would also actually love to get Lena over here a little bit closer, maybe.
So sweet. Hi, Nina.
And also then we can also see like the variety of sheep, because it's just like with like the sheep and any of the other animals here. I mean, as you can see from here, there's not just like one type of sheep. There's a lot of types of sheep. And someone like Lena, who is here next to Zeke, let me get her attention. Hey, gorgeous. What do you like?
Lena.
Hello.
Look at Lena and Nina.
Lena and
That's not confusing at all.
Here, come here.
Lena,
come here,
Nina.
Oh,
Don't fight. No cookie
Don't
fights. No cookie fight. I don't have a cookie.
They got a little held up because also
Lauren
Lena
has
stepped on my
the
foot,
cookies.
so it's fine though.
Lena.
I'm fine. We just got to.
Come here, Lena. Come here, Lena.
Come here, babies.
Come here, baby.
Come here. Come this way.
Oh, so soft.
Oh, hi,
So
Lena.
soft and fluffy and good for hugs only.
And being warm, but only when
yeah.
it's attached to her.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's
Be
the other
warm.
thing too, right? About
Good
the
girl.
World Festival, Lauren. At the
What's that?
That they're going to be giving demonstrations of how to shear sheep. But of course, we're coming into a colder season here in New York. Although, admittedly, I am in a t-shirt. But October, you know, it's
Supposed to be getting colder.
supposedly. So you know, it's not great for them to be without their coat, their big floofy coats for the winter. You know, they're starting to get thicker now already to prepare. So this is not a great time to be taking away their winter coat.
Yeah, and are we good?
We
Are we
are.
back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're very crooked right now.
I think we had a little
That's
internet
okay.
hiccup, and that's okay. Stuff
and
happens.
We're lost on Instagram.
Oh, bye Instagram.
Oh, no. Sorry, Instagram.
Sorry,
We've
Instagram.
been lost on Instagram, but I can try to get us back on.
Ah, that's okay.
That's okay.
But now that we've got a good look at Lena,
Hi, sweet
her
girl.
hair is very different from Nina, because
Yeah.
Lena will actually shed her hair on her own.
Oh, she's also that kind.
She's what we call a hair sheep.
Oh,
And then I don't know
too.
specifically what her breed is.
Neat.
Nina's like, you forgot me.
I know.
Forgot about me.
Forgot about Nina.
Oh,
How
you're
lovely.
gonna give Cameron a snuggle too.
So yeah,
That's so
Lena
nice.
here in the
I didn't realize
springtime.
Nina also was a hair sheep. Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Hi.
In the springtime, Lena, who is now leaving us again, bye Lena, will just shed that hair. And in that case, we will brush them and kind of help that whole process. And honestly, when it really loosens up, you can kind of just, by the handful, just like pull the hair off of her, and it's like very satisfying. And if you saw, where's the wiggle dance? When do we do a wiggle dance? Where's a good squishy spot for wiggle dance? There it is. This cute little thing that they do when they do little tongue wiggles and mouth wiggles, that's a sign of a happy sheep. So a lot of times when they're shedding,
It's like thick hair.
yeah, a lot of times when they're shedding, and if you are like brushing them or getting some of the hair off and stuff, they'll do their wiggle too. So it's like, ooh, this is nice.
So,
This is
friends,
nice.
just for time's sake, we've got about 3 minutes left. If you want to tell us in the chat what you use instead, What do you use for your craft projects, or what do you look for in your clothing labels? I just learned today, actually, that there's a vegan cashmere that's made out of vegetables that Lauren and I will have to research more on today. But, of course, there's lots of alternatives, so we ask that you look for wool on clothing tags when you're shopping, and choose an alternative. Also, I know this time of year, like I've been noticing, you see a lot of like felted wool, like ornaments and stuff in the fall, and same thing, comes from the same place.
Nina says hello.
So
Hi on Instagram. Oh, also
I always avoid those.
Someone else's perhaps. No, he turned around.
Cupid!
I thought Cupid was going to have his official introduction, and then
the
he
goat
went away.
sheep.
Cupid! I know.
Oh,
he's hanging.
And a whole bunch of sheep
He's
butts.
just hanging out in the road. Well,
And
hi.
Reunite the
There's
boys.
nothing better than sheep. Pile of sheep.
Pile of sheep.
Is this
Cotton and hemp fabrics. Great
Hi,
choices.
hi.
Really good.
Yeah.
Hi, children.
Who is this coming up?
Oh, Stewie and
Stewie.
your freckles.
Little freckle face.
Give me a Stewie.
I still
It's like,
have
I'm
a
busy.
tiny bit of... Ladies, don't get jealous. Can you tell?
Oh no.
They get jealous of each other. They headbutt each
Lauren
other.
still has cookies.
Ladies.
Dangerous.
Only a
So
little
there's
bit.
our
Mostly
there's our
crumbs.
beautiful flock of sheep. We ask that to protect them and also the planet. That we just leave them out of products. So keep an eye out on tags and things for the words wool, of course, cashmere. Obviously, we don't want to use real fur. So keep an eye out for those awesome faux fur options. And of course, leave lambs. These babies, when they're just babies, off our plates.
You were a baby.
So let us know if you need an awesome substitute for anything. We're happy to help you to figure it out. And if we don't know, we will also research it. So
We don't know everything,
we don't.
but it's
But
always fun to
Lauren's
learn things.
Close.
Ah.
She's at capacity almost, I think.
That's why I can't remember where I left my keys.
She's been teaching me
Everything else is full.
so many vocabulary words. I started a word wall in our office, so that's fun. Soon we'll have to have flashcards. Huh, buddy? Honey. So on that note, we ask that you leave animals off your plates and out of your clothes. Let us know if you have any questions about that, and we will sign off, sending much love to all of you.
Did we plug? Do we have pluggables?
Oh, we have plugs.
We got
Do
some
we have
plugs.
time for pluggables?
We can do some plugs real
We
quick.
have plugs.
We
Sheep
love plugs.
sponsors. Please.
Sheep sponsors.
If you'd like a more meaningful way to help sheep, we have sheep sponsorship. You can pick any of these beautiful babies and be their sponsor. And then you can schedule a special visit with them, which is amazing.
And we send you updates about them.
And many cute pictures.
And so many cute pictures. Oh my gosh.
They're all very photogenic, these sheep.
They are.
So
Some of
that's
them are a little
one way.
goofy when you take their picture. Like poor little Talia.
or like
Talia's an
this
older
one.
lady.
Who's
Her.
fast approaching. Mr. Daisy.
Oh, see,
Sweet,
now when we're about to
handsome man.
log
I know,
off,
of
everyone
course. Now
comes
they're here.
around.
Of course, because that's how it goes.
Oh, Shannon, thank you for sponsoring Ferguson.
Oh, Ferguson! My bestie.
Here's
They're all
Davey.
our besties.
Handsome.
Hi, Davey. We missed you.
Bye, Davy. Okay.
We missed you.
It's okay. It's a special extended virtual sanctuary for the IG friends.
There you go. Who lost a minute or two there?
Or 10.
Sorry.
Thank you for being patient with us, Instagram friends.
Yeah, and then of course, if you
Hi,
want to go
Davey.
to a sanctuary anywhere, but if you want to come see us, we have some tickets available online. Please book ahead. We're still filling up a lot of our tours, so please reserve ahead of time. And then we do have Murphy Real Estate. If you're not voting every day, please continue to do so. It's through the end of the month, and thanks to our friends at Murphy for nominating us. I think we're still in the running. So if you can remember to vote for us every day, it's just your first name, last name, and email, and they don't spam you, which is lovely. And then, what else, Lauren? We had a couple other plugs.
Cooking classes.
Cooking classes. We have some classes coming
Oh,
up.
and so one of the ones coming up is the Ethiopian class.
Yep.
And like goat and sheep are not like common like food animals necessarily in like Western cultures. I mean, at least in like United States culture. But that is something that's more common in others. So I'm sure Linda will have some interesting insights.
Yeah,
into that.
and different foods to eat instead, different ways to prepare traditional dishes. There's also an early bird Thanksgiving pricing through the end of the month, so Chef Linda's offering a special Thanksgiving class to learn how to veganize your Thanksgiving and still have a tasty, delicious, but cruelty-free holiday. And the last thing is, we still have a few spots left on the 23rd. We're having 2 Break All the Rules tours with our founder, Kathy Stevens. So if you want to sign up for those events, we still have some availability for those. And I think that's all of our plugs now. I got distracted by all of our beautiful sheep who are finally here visiting us now that we need to go. Huh,
That we are
Scout?
surrounded by sheep.
Now we are. Now they are here. Hi, Scout. Come here, give me a kiss. No? Okay, bye. I love you. Bye. Oh, so shy.
What a great way to sign off.
Thank you for joining us. Much love to all of you. Be well, and we hope to see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.